Alright, hey guys, it's my bro CCG back in the video. In this video, I'm going over my Tearlaments deck profile. So Tearlaments are going to be coming out really soon in Master Duel, and this is a Master Duel deck profile. And yeah, I'm going to be going over what I would run based on like the ban list and the changes we've seen. And I tried to keep it up, make sure that everything is up to the two ban lists that we got, hitting ISHIZU and hitting Tearlaments. And this should be about right, but if I miss anything, just let me know in the comments down below. But let's get started here. I run 2 copies of Shiren, so Shiren's great. Being able to special summon itself out is solid, and then milling for 3, great card. And of course, all these Tearlaments here, besides Reinhardt, just able to fusion summon. So yeah, 2 copies. You want to maximize on this. Reinhardt's the only one that didn't get hit, at least in the main deck. And yeah, I considered running 3 copies of him. I just didn't like it too much. I decided 2 copies was enough, and I saw the Tearlaments enough to justify just running 2 copies. But if you want to try the 3rd copy, go for it. Then I have 2 copies of Kalbic. So Kalbic is semi-limited, so is a Guido, and so is Kaldo. So Kalbic here, you know, it's just does the same thing as a Guido here in order to mill things. These two, just so you guys know, if you're getting into how to use the ISHIZU part of the deck, Kalbic and a Guido do the same thing. They mill for 4. And Yugioh is able to special summon a monster, and then Kalbic is pretty interesting that he kind of works like a hand trap, just being able to bounce one of your opponent's monsters. And then here we have Medora and Kaldo that are important for the deck, not only for Kaldo because it's able to get itself out, but they're actually able to give you some interaction because you're able to just shuffle a bunch of cards from your opponent's grave back into their deck. And the great thing about this is that it's a great matchup against another Tear ISHIZU deck, just because if they try to activate their Tearlaments effects, you can use these ISHIZU cards in order to shuffle them back into the deck before they get the effects off. The only thing about that is that, you know, Tearlaments Scream and the traps are able to actually activate their effects and resolve it even if you shuffle them. But besides that, we run the 2 copies of Havness. So Havness, of course, and Meryl, these are another ones that are semi-limited. There's no really, you just want to maximize on the Tearlaments names because they all are great at just milling and for fusing, and yeah, just want to maximize that. 3 Ash Blossom, standard hand trap, just really great. Always gonna run that at 3 unless something changes in the near future. And then Diviner of the Herald, this just gives you a tuner monster, you're able to mill a fairy, and because these cards are fairies, you get a good amount of cards a good amount of targets that you're able to mill, and it just gives you the ability to mill even more cards. But yeah, it'll increase it until level 6, so it makes it super easy to go into Bear on the floor. 3 Maxis because it's Maxi. Herald of Orange Light, you have a lot of fairies in this deck, and being able to just mill those cards, or not mill it, but discarding them, which means that you're actually able to activate their effects, but also serve as monster negate. So of course that's great. Instant Fusion, it's just a free way of getting Kakalos out here, so of course gonna run one of those. 2 Triple Tactics, because if your opponent tries to play during your opponent's turn, or play during your turn, then you can just punish them by using this card. Terraforming is just really important because we only have the field spot at 1, and the field spot is really good, so you want to maximize just seeing it. And then Foolish Burial, just pitch whatever you need. 2 called by the grave because you don't want to deal with hand traps. Super Poly, just so that you have a way to interact with your opponent, and in case you're worried about like them having something that's a higher spell speed, you're gonna be able to use this card to actually fuse whatever disruption they try to throw at you. And then Tearlaments Scream gives you some mills, but it's also part of a key combo in order to search out your trap cards. The Field Spell, just great combo starter, being able to search out any of your Tearlaments. And yeah, being able to pop one of your own cards is nice as well. But you could also use it to pop your opponent's cards, but obviously if you want to use it for a combo though, you can pop your own card. Then we have 2 Salix, so Salix is pretty great, or Solic, as it isn't basically an imperm for the deck, but if it's sent to the grave by a card effect, you can add a Tearlaments monster from your deck to your hand, so it's just great searchability, and then just it's an imperm. And then one of the Tearlaments Crime, so it's a spell trapper monster activation negation, so that's pretty great. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Tearlaments monster and add it to your hand. So this is great for just renewing some cards that you're kind of tight on, since we're really tight on monsters here is because of everything they've hit. But if they happen to banish something, you can use this to get it back And of course, it's pretty good just being able to stop a spell trap or monster effect. That's pretty nice. Alright guys, before I go to the extra deck, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned because I am going to be dropping a video that showcases a test hand of this deck and shows you just how to play it. As this deck mills a lot, so it's a little hard to do combos with it. So that video is just mainly going to be showing you how to play with what you mill. And yeah, anyway, so here we have Tearlaments Kaleido Heart, so 1 copy of Kaleido Heart. This card's great. You only really need 1 copy of this. You're gonna see with the combo or test time video that I'm gonna show you that you're just able to use this card. It has an interesting interaction with Brand the Floor, just being able to pop itself, and then from there you can when it gets popped, you can if this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can special summon this card, and if you do send 1 Tearlaments card from your deck to your grave, so that's great. And it also works really well when you search out Selic. You're gonna see all that in the combo video, but yeah, great as a 1 copy. Just because you're able to shuffle these cards back into your deck pretty easily. And then we have 1 copy of Tearlaments Kalos. So this card's pretty solid, just being able to punish any of your opponent's card that attempts to special summon a monster. You can deal with that, and then if this fusion summon card is sent to the grave by card effect, you can special summon it. So it's pretty easy to get this card out for a good amount of value. And then here we have the Predaplant Dracostapelium. So this card is great because not only is it a super polymerization target, but you can actually just fusion summon it on your own, and it's a great way of just getting your Kakalas or whatever back into your extra deck. But also it's a monster negate, so that's nice. Kakalos, this card is just really good. You're able to add a Tearlament card and either add it to your hand or deck, or grave, so that's pretty solid. And then it can pop itself and mill for 5. So yeah, this card just gives you so much value, which is why it's limited to 1. And then we have 1 Mud Dragon. Mud Dragon is just a super poly target. Burn the Floor, you're gonna get it out through Divine of the Herald on the negate, of course. Zeus, yeah, you have a good amount of exceeds, so if you happen to attack with any of them, go into a Zeus. Time Thief for Doer, it's a great rank 4 to get out. And then not only that, just if you're actually able to get a trap onto this, being able to bounce something is nice. Baguska, yeah, if you happen to get a really bad hand, use Bazaguska, sit on it. That's nice. Evil Swarm Executionite. So this card's great. Just being able to pop the board in case things don't go your way. Abyss Dweller. Yeah, this card is just going to be really good now because a lot of these Tearlaments and ISHIZU cards, obviously they benefit from, they activate their effects in the grave. So being able to use this to punish other ISHIZU decks. Just watch out for this, obviously, because other people are going to be running it. But you can use this card to punish other mirror with the mirror matchup. And then Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. This is a great Link 5 to get out here. And being able to use your opponent's monster is nice, and it's a solid addition in my opinion. And then Access Code Talker just helps you break boards. Dark, because you're going to be playing a lot of darks. There's going to be a lot of darks in the graves, and being able to utilize that in order to not only attempt to link climb, but to go into Sprite Elf is pretty solid. Sprite Elf is just a great card. Being able to use, you can actually use this card in order to get Diviner of the Herald back, and then from there you can choose whatever you want to do with it, either link climb. You can even choose to make space for the Elder Entity Nest, and then from there you can use Diviner of the Herald to send that card to the grave, and then pop one of your opponent's cards on the field. And now I can kind of transition into the side. So the side deck here, the 3rd copy of Rhino Heart, kind of went over that. The 3rd copy didn't really do much for me, so decided to just sit back with just 2. And then Elder Entity Nest, this card's great. Like I said, it works pretty well with Diviner of the Herald, just being able to pop a card for free. Gives you a good amount of value if you already used it by your other fairies, which can happen, so it's worth considering. So I've seen a lot of people consider that Grasslick Screener. I think this deck is just really good at milling on its own, and at making this a 60 card build. I think with the already limited or semi-limited versions of this deck, I don't think that Grasslick Screener is going to be that solid. It's just going to make it harder for you to go into your ISHIZU and Tearlament cards. And the 40 card build is pretty great. The Tearlaments are able to do a good job of milling on their own, while with the ISHIZU cards, and you don't really need that Grasslick Screener because you're just going to have more filler cards. Forbidden Droplet's pretty solid if you want to get rid of the Super Poly. Then the Tearlaments Meta Noise. I don't think this trap really does enough. It's like a Book of Moon. And if it's sent to the grave by a card effect, you can target 1 Tearlament monster in your grave and add it to your hand. That's okay, but I don't think it adds enough value in order to justify being in the deck, because it's already kind of tight, the space. Even though you're running 2 copies of each, it's kind of hard to add anything else. But let me know what you guys think about this deck profile, and make sure to stay tuned for the actual test hand and breakdown for Tearlaments. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.